What if it was you that learned to find gold and platinum so proficiently that your sluice box turned gold day after day, pound after pound after pound? Would it change your life? You may have heard the oft-repeated line that the gold prospectors of the 1800s found 90% of the gems and minerals. But if you saw a modern geological map of just how extensive the gold and gem fields are, even in the east, up through Alabama, Georgia, all the way to New York and Maine. If you knew that these fields also extended in the west, in New Mexico, up through Colorado, Wyoming, out through Arizona, the heavy and rich mother lode area of California, up through Oregon, Washington State, Idaho, Montana, with very rich deposits, down through Utah, North and South Dakota. If you knew that even the Great Lakes areas have deposits, well, you might think something entirely different. Now, if I was to tell you that most of the western states, the 19 states that allow mineral claims to be filed, have been claimed, that would be a true statement. And you might not further your pursuits. But if I was to also tell you that 95% of those claims have gone back to the government because the filers of those claims in the 1800s and later were either deceased or had failed to pay their assessment fees, which are usually under $200 per year, that would also be true, leaving 95% of the West wide open. Now, this is one of the mineral claims that has been closed. This is a lode claim, accessible on the Bureau of Land Management's LR 2000 computer. The quartz queen. Why would we look for quartz? Well, we wouldn't necessarily look for quartz, and we wouldn't necessarily file a gold claim. We might file a quartz claim, and because gold is located within quartz veins. This was a common tactic, especially of the 1800s, where they'd file a claim for sand or anything other than what they were looking for, which was gold. Quartz or an iron claim. What is the third thing that goes with quartz and iron? It is gold. Closed. And you can go through claim after claim, when it was filed, when it was closed, the dates, opened in 82, the location date, and if you look for claims that were pre-1975, that would be the date when metal detectors were being perfected. That might give you another angle on your quest. Well, why gold? Why gems? Well, gold and gems have been valuable now for over 6,000 years. Wars have been fought over them. There's not much chance that they're going to be nothing in the near future. We don't have to do much to them to have a saleable item. When they're in the ground, they're of zero value. We don't even know they're there. The minute we dig them up, they have a value. If we take and turn them into a ring or facet them, they have another value. And they have value all along the line. What's created here between nothing and here, it's most valuable, wealth creation, nothing more than capitalism. And the people who facet the material or even make the machines to make that possible, the truck driver who drives it to wherever it's going, all of these things accrue simply as a result of finding these materials. The people who built the nation knew this well when they created the 1872 mining law, which allows the individual to go out on the public lands in the 19 western states and search for our valuable deposits and make them saleable materials. Now, how did the public lands come into being? Well, in the beginning, when all of these lands came on the government register, if you could fence it and then farm it or ranch it, you could have it. They would give it to you. Well, nobody knew much what to do with 300 miles of mountain range or certainly thousands of miles of desert. So they simply stood until gold was discovered. And when gold was discovered, of course, a mad rush began west, virtually leaving the gold deposits in the east to be mined at some later date. Now, to use the public lands out west, you don't have to have a mining claim. In fact, as we've learned, most of the mining claims out west have gone back to the government. The lands in the west are about 95% open. You can simply take the old paperwork and refile on those claims, and voila, you have a new claim. And if you're interested in that, you would go to the, you begin by usually going to the county courthouse, pulling out a paper on filing a claim, pay the appropriate fee, you have your points of your 20 acres figured out, your markers. This can be a GPS coordinate, and then you're going to convert that into an anachronistic, an old system that was based on Taylor's squares, a warfare system, township and ranges, and describe these points. Now, from there you're going to take that paperwork, send it to the Bureau of Land Management, and they're going to refile that as a claim, and you're going to pay your appropriate fee to them. All of this is not costly at all. It's but if you want to do that, you're already on YouTube, and you're going to need to go through filing a claim, the Bureau of Land Management LR 2000 computer system. You want to go through videos on that and learn how to use it. Now, valuable materials on the public lands can go far beyond gold, and if you take and look at this particular rock, you can see that there's veins in it. That's because it's actually, at one time it was a tree. This is petrified wood. We can simply add value to it by putting on a face, drilling a couple of holes. Now we have a pin set, and we've gone through this entire scenario with nothing more than a rock. All right, let's all do an exercise here. This is the belt that extends right on up into Maine, and I'm just going to zoom right in. All right, I'm going to grab it, come down in here. Let's get nice and tight. All right, here's my counties. I want to know what this material is, so I'm just going to click on it. material here is. All right, here is the report for that latitude, longitude. Now, where this information originally came from was the Bureau of Mines, and this was all folded into the USGS in the 1990s. Now, what you want to know is what this is. Low sulfide, gold, quartz, vein. And where that's important to you is you're going to take and you're going to overlay your street so you know where you are. The GPAA farm claim is in this area in here. And you're going to then overlay your rivers and streams and creeks, and where those go through these areas, that's where gold is being redeposited continually. That's why every time we go to certain locations, we find gold, because the stream action is renewing that gold deposit continually. So if a claim, let's say we've got a claim in here that hasn't been active since the 1800s, do you think you could probably find gold with your modern methods and your modern metal detectors? Well, you know, I think you could. All right, now I'm up here in the northeast. Here's Maine, just down from Maine. I'm just going to click on this group right here, get a report. All right, what have we got? We can come down. We've got our